The Lee Valley Waterway is part of the River Stot. It runs from mid-Hertfordshire down to the Thames. The London section was used for the water sports in the London Olympics in 2012. It was a beautiful Thursday afternoon, and so the bike and the phone decided to go out and have a trip. They started off obviously along the river, and they even enjoyed the nature reserve. Geese, swans, moorhens and many other birds were out with their young enjoying the beautiful sunshine. Lee Valley, being a waterway system, obviously has lots of boats, but in particular lots of canal boats. The first trip to the Lee Valley area was back in 2021, and I enjoyed it so much that I brought my parents back to this exact spot that you can see now for a pub lunch. Canal construction started in the UK in 1670, but didn't really take off for another 100 years. It was the Industrial Revolution that started the boom time for the canals. This was because there was so much trade and industry going on, and materials needed to be moved from one location to another. Obviously, rivers don't stay at the same level the entire way, and so locks were used to raise water levels at specific points. The Industrial Revolution brought about the mass production of goods from mills and factories, which required an improved transportation system because the road network wasn't up to the job. Goods were moved within the UK into ports for export around the British Empire. Roads couldn't easily handle heavy and bulky materials like coal and steel, or delicate and fragile materials like pottery. At the time, there were no cars or trucks, and so the power for moving goods came from horses. Roads could not compete with horses, where one horse could pull 50 tons of cargo in a boat compared to much less on the road. The paths next to a canal are called towpaths. This is because the horses would walk along these paths towing the boat. Canals were constructed because existing waterways didn't link the mines with the consumers, whether they be factories, cities or international ports. Canal building boom was from basically the mid-1700s to about 1815 and came to an end because of the wide-scale construction of railways. The railway system construction led to the canals being abandoned. They became an eyesore, a cause of pollution and just general nuisance. However, in the late 20th century, people started to use them again. Some of the routes, just a very few limited of the routes, have always been used for commercial traffic, but now it's mainly used for pleasure boats, for cruises, for day trips, and even some people living along the rivers. There are now reckoned to be more boats used in the canals than at any time in its history. Currently, there's about 7,600 kilometres, about 4,700 miles of navigable canals and rivers in the UK, of which about 4,400 kilometres, about 2,700 miles of these are part of a connected system. The network connects the north and south of England and Wales, plus the North Sea on the east coast to the Irish Sea on the west coast. The canals flow through cities, past homes, alongside offices, and out into the beautiful countryside, bringing a boom to the tourist industry. If you want to go on the entire network by boat, the boats are limited to 2.1 metres, 7 foot wide, 17 metres, 56 foot long. But as you'll have noticed from looking at the Lee Valley, there are areas where you can put much bigger boats. Eventually it was time to head back to the nature reserve to enjoy the birds. And then it was time to waddle off home.